This is Chandler Waller for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'm delighted to be joined by Magic Matthew Hatton. Just witnessed Damian Chambers' second round stoppage victory over in Laden Matev. Matt, how would you assess Damian's performance?
I thought he didn't put a foot wrong there, Damian. You know, was really disciplined and, guy was quite a bit bigger, quite a bit heavier than Damian. So the plan was to go in there and break him down. And I think he was in the process of doing that. Corner pulled him out, but Damian was really starting to hurt him in that second round. So I think the corner probably made the right decision there. But for me, didn't put a foot wrong there. Damian boxed really, really well.
I was just speaking to Damian and obviously saying that it takes such a great character, such a great sort of mental strength to obviously come back to the same arena. First fight back, straight into the spotlights. He would have been on the BT Sport, obviously, but unfortunately he wasn't. It says a lot about his character and his mental strength that he can come straight back here and get straight back to winning ways.
Absolutely, yeah. Damian, he's one of these guys who doesn't worry too much about that. He just gets in there and he's had a good training camp, Damian, and even after the last fight, I spoke to him a couple of days after and he was still positive about the whole experience. And, he's a good fighter, Damian. He's got a good fight lined up. We're going to be fighting for the Central Area title in March. And he's going to be in some very exciting fights next year and looking forward to it.
That's what I was going to come on to next. James Farrell for the Central Area title. Is that a done deal for sort of March time?
Yeah, pretty much a done deal that. We're looking March the 14th for that fight. Not too sure on a venue, but what a great matchup. Two really big punching cruiserweights facing off in a local derby. And it's going to be an exciting fight. And obviously, as Damian's manager and trainer, it's a fight I go into full of confidence with Damian, really.
How do you see the fight playing out?
Well, I certainly wouldn't take my eyes off it. I don't see it going 10 rounds anyway, let's say. It's, both very big punchers, both very explosive. And, I think it could be quite an early fight. Obviously, we prepare for a long fight. You never know in boxing, but I certainly wouldn't blink watching that one.
There's one fight on tomorrow night which I'd like to get your thoughts on. Teofimo Lopez versus Richard Comey for the IBF, the World Lightweight title. Will you be tuning in yourself?
Well, yeah, we've got a lot of boxing to go at tomorrow, haven't we? We've got the MTK tournament as well at light heavyweight. So boxing fans in for a treat this weekend.
What are your thoughts on Teofimo Lopez versus Richard Comey?
To be fair, I've not really seen too much of. Obviously, I've seen Comey before, so I've not really seen too much of the opponent. So difficult to say on that one, really. But like say, looking at the records and that, it looks a very good matchup.
We had Ruiz-Joshua 2 last week. I'm sure you would have watched the fight or at least seen snippets of it. First of all, proud of Anthony Joshua to come and bring the belts back home.
Absolutely, yeah, boxed really well. Boxed to a plan. Sometimes it's not about entertainment. Sometimes you just got to get in there and get the job done and win the fight, and that's what he did. So boxed to a plan and carried it off really well. Showed a lot of discipline and got his belt back. So what more can you do?
What would you like to see Anthony Joshua do next? There's obviously mandatories were called straight after the fight, 180 days from the WBO. There's also the IBF mandatory, so it's really between either Kubrat Pulev or Alexander Usyk. Do you believe that he'll face one of those, or do you see he'll vacate the belt?
They're the fights we need to see happen now. We know the big guys in the heavyweight division. You've got Joshua, Fury, Wilder, and they're the guys we want to see fighting each other now. We like say a lot of good names in the heavyweight division, but in reality they're the ones we want to see against each other, don't we?
Always love talking about potential fights with you because it's one thing that we obviously talk about and then one day it will eventually happen. When do you realistically see Joshua faces either Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury facing in February of early next year?
Difficult to say, really. I don't know the situation regarding the mandatories, contracts, and boxing can be very political sometimes, can't it? So very difficult to say, really. I just hope it's soon.
Matt Hatton, thank you very much for your time and speaking to Boxing Station on myself.
Anytime. Cheers, mate.